demo the DDI Observability Center. We'll start by opening the main dashboard, which shows you a number of interesting metrics such as the amount of queries per second, an indication of the load on the DNS system. It will also tell you what the average recursion time is for the different percentile buckets. We see that 90% of the requests have been answered in around 260 milliseconds or less. We also get an indication of the sort of errors we see, mostly, in this case an X domain, but we can get a more detailed view on the next page. The global statistics page will show us more details on the actual queries. We'll see how the amount of queries and the cache hit ratio evolves over time, how many queries were made successfully or not successfully, and how the errors are distributed. So for instance, here we get a little more detail on the amount of successful queries and the amount of erroneous queries. We can also see the average packet size, the type of query, and what the average recursion time was. In this case, we do see a problem. Recursion time has gone up significantly in the last 2 days, and we'll look into that in a minute. The top queries page shows you which are the most frequently consulted domain names and how they relate to the overall query distribution. In this case, for instance, we see that 86% of the queries was made up by the top 10% domain names. As we've just seen in increased recursion time in the previous page, we can look into that by checking the health pages of the dashboard. For instance, in this dashboard, we can see what the average CPU load is. We do see that it hasn't really gone up significantly, so that doesn't appear to be the root cause of the increased recursion time. We can also check if one of the services has stopped, leading to timeouts, which at first sight also doesn't appear to be the case. Notice that not all services are active on each appliance. It actually makes sense that the DNS server doesn't have the DHCP process running. All of these services are looking fine, so we may have to look at the network stats of the appliances. Here we do see a traffic spike, which has appeared on the 26th, so it is actually before we start the increased recursion time. And at the same time, we also see that there are 2 appliances that are responsible for the traffic peak, which are both management and IPAM devices. So these shouldn't be the root cause of the problem that we see. This won't have an impact on performance. Which means that in this case, we can actually see that the DNS servers are running fine.